Don't do that.
Are we ready? Want to start? Call me in order. Please rise for Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight our invocation will be given by Pastor Jamal Brown from the United Church of Christ. Welcome back, Pastor. Like that shirt.
Yep.
Podium.
Yep.
Hadn't been that long, has it?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
All right.
Good evening.
Good evening.
If we can bow our heads. Father, we thank you for and acknowledge who you are. We give you glory, praise, and honor, and we ask, Lord, for your presence and your spirit. Father, you said if anyone lacked wisdom, Lord, let them ask liberally, and you will give it in abundance. Bless now our managers and the mayor and all those who represent the great people of Holly Springs. Bless them with the wisdom from on high that they may faithfully serve your community. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you.
Item number 4, adjustment approval of the July 7th, 2015 meeting agenda. Mayor Pro Tem.
Motion to adopt the July 7th, 2015 meeting agenda with the removal of item 6C from a consent agenda and putting it under new business.
Motion been made, second, all in favor.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Number 5, the public comment period. I have the sheet. No one signed up, so we'll open and close the public comment period and go exec to agenda item 6A, consent agenda. Mayor Pro Tem.
Motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion been made, seconded, all in favor.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Now we're going to go to the one we took off, which is 6C, I believe, if I can get to it.
Well, I'll
And you go ahead, yeah.
Although I work for Duke Energy, I don't stand, even if I were to vote on this, I would not, there's no condition that I would receive any special compensation for my vote, but.
Has that been offered?
But
No.
I will ask to be recused from this because of the appearance of
Impropriety.
impropriety if I were to vote on
Okay.
it.
Transparency.
All right. Do I hear
Motion to recuse Councilman Dixon.
second? Motion been made, seconded.
Aye.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You're recused, sir. We'll go to agenda item 6C, which is the street light easement to Duke Energy Progress. Is there any discussion on this?
Nope.
Straightforward.
Okay, straightforward. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to grant a state street light easement to Duke Energy Progress as part of the Law Enforcement Center.
Second.
Motion been made, second, all in favor.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Motion to get. Mr.
Motion to
Hickman.
readmit Councilman Dixon.
Second. Motion been made, second, all in favor.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Agenda item. Pardon?
He's back already.
He is back. Well, it was not too long. Agenda item 7A, under new business 07DP10A04, Stonemont Master Sign Plan, Beth Trouts. Hi, Beth. We haven't seen you here for a while.
Not for a while. Good
Well,
evening,
we're glad to
Mayor
have you
and
back.
Council. Thank you.
Welcome.
So part of my duties is to review master sign plans and permanent signage for the town. You may remember about a year and a half ago, we brought an amendment in front of you to allow master sign plans to come in front of you without a preliminary plan. So the request in front of you tonight is to do that. We have a master sign plan with waiver for Stonemont subdivision. Back in 2007, when the subdivision was originally reviewed, they did not have a master sign plan. Now that they are moving forward with development, they would like to add an entrance feature. What the applicant is proposing is a wall sign that has 2 stone columns on the northwest side of the entrance and an additional column on the northeast side of the entrance. One of the columns on the sign and the northeast side of the entrance exceeds the allowable 6 feet in height for a subdivision sign. So what the waiver is requesting is for the applicant to increase the height of the column from 6 feet to 8 feet with an approximately 4-foot high lantern on top. In order to gain this additional square footage, they're going to restrict the rest of the subdivision for permanent phase signs that are allowed within the subdivision. They're going to restrict those, take that square footage and apply it to the 2 front columns that will exceed the height. The rest of the sign surface area, so the actual sign that'll say Stonemont and the rest of the sign structure all do meet our ordinance requirements, and they will be landscaping the sign also in accordance with our ordinance. The planning board did recommend approval. There was one vote against. The board member was concerned that the UDO currently has no limits for height on with using a waiver. He did agree, though, that the sign was good design. And in front of you, we have 2 motions. One is a motion to approve the waiver, and the second one is a motion to approve the master sign plan.
Would you go back to the sign again? I think I saw it.
Sure.
Is there a picture of the sign?
Well,
I looked down and that was my, there it
There
is.
you go.
Okay.
So it's
That's the
12 feet in total with the 8 feet and then the top one?
Approximately. So right here is about
Measure
the
8 feet.
6-foot line, about a 2 additional to here.
Yeah.
And then the applicant has indicated that this is about a 4-foot high cap and light fixture.
Questions or comments of Beth?
but overall, they're borrowing from their total square footage that they're
They
allowed to
are.
have in the subdivision for sub-signs, et cetera, to make.
Exactly, just like we do when we do a commercial shopping center, we restrict signage in order to let somebody do something
maximum
larger.
square footage.
So we're restricting it from the inside. And there's 2 phases within Stonemont, so they have quite a lot of square footage that they're not using.
Available.
Are there questions or comments?
Nope, looks good.
Seeing none, click back to where we were. Joni, please. Well, keep going.
Wrong way.
There you go.
There you go.
Yay. Somebody take it?
Motion to approve,
Go ahead.
motion to approve a waiver of regulations of Unified Development Ordinance, Section 7.03D3E, signs for recorded platted residential subdivision for petition number 07DP10A04 for Stonemont to allow an increase in sign structure height as submitted by Tony Tate Landscape Architecture, PA, and as written on the screen.
Second.
What's been made and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Number 2.
I'll make the motion to approve 07DP10A04 for an addition of a master sign plan for Stonemont as submitted by Tony Tate Landscape Architectural, PA. Product number 14074 dated 4/15/2015 with the following conditions. All previous conditions for Stonemont shall remain, and all required sign permits will need to be obtained before installation of signs.
Second.
Motion been made and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you.
See you, Tony.
Agenda item 7B under new business, the Avon Ferry Road Improvements Supplemental Agreement 12-003. Kendra Parrish, isn't it? Yes. Hi, Kendra.
Good evening. So I prepared this slide just sort of as a summary. The agreement that's before you tonight is for the item that is in the green text. So the Avon Ferry road improvements that are from Piney Grove to the bypass. In the past, we've gotten the DOT grants for design with those amounts listed. Right-of-way and the municipal agreement that's before you tonight is for construction. I have just below just some information about the other grants and the other DOT agreements that we have in case, just to kind of keep them all straight. So I can answer any questions. Basically, this is our standard municipal agreement with DOT to accept the $1,584,000 and a $396,000 match from the town.
Quite generous from DOT, I would say.
It is. When you see it all on one screen like that, it is.
Yes, exactly. Any questions or comments for Kendra?
Nope.
Pretty straightforward.
Slam dunk.
Sooner we can get this going, the better.
You better believe it. Okay, motion.
Motion to enter a municipal agreement with NC Department of Transportation for the design of Avon Ferry Road widening project.
Second.
Motion been made and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously, and that is priority number 1, right?
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Kendra. Agenda item 7C under new business, Rogers Extension Survey and Budget. Aaron, I thought I saw Aaron. There he is. You were hiding.
He's hard to hide.
That's true.
He's a little fellow.
Do you call me Your Highness, by the way? That's what my phone calls me.
Your Excellency.
Eminence.
Something like that.
Your Eminence, excuse me.
Yeah, whatever.
Mayor, Town Council. I'm here to present the Rogers Street Extension Project. The goals of this project are to promote downtown development, increase traffic circulation in the Village District area, and improve hydraulic connectivity in that area as well. From this shot here, you can see the Rogers Street Extension shown in green. That is not a building. I just wanted to extend it above the trees.
Graphics.
It's a lot, actually.
Two stories or just one?
It's a bowling alley, actually.
Oh, it's a bowling alley.
Now, this roadway connection is going to tie Main Street over to Avon Ferry, and that's an additional east-west connection that we can always use between Main Street and Avon Ferry. That's about 280 linear feet. It's located within the Village District. We've got Town Hall just to the north, Ballantyne Street, Center Street, and the roadway would be a one-way from east to west, so going from Main Street to Avon Ferry. It would have on-street parking, probably add about a dozen or so spaces, but right now this is just a preliminary design. The roadway would include decorative sidewalks in tune with the village plan along the Rogers Street extension, as well as some portions along Main Street here. Here's another view showing you where it's located. And I was mentioning it was a one-way street, and that is, in tune with other streets in the area, and it provides, a circuitous route that we'd like to continue with. Now, the engineering department is planning on doing design all in-house. But we do need to get some survey work done. The survey scope is shown in the red box that's outlining the project. We did this larger area. The town owns this parcel in here, and that would allow us also to analyze some of the drainage patterns throughout the area and on our parking lot that exists here. We're also going to be including this portion on the east side of Main Street where Rogers Connection kind of runs into Raleigh Street. Now, in the near future, we're going to be presenting the downtown transportation plan, which is going to provide some suggestions for transportation modifications in the village area and downtown. We're not exactly sure what we're going to be doing in this area, but probably some sort of modification, maybe even closing Rogers off to Main Street, and maybe also abandoning portions of Raleigh Street. Now for the survey scope, we are going to be requesting, I think it's $6,700, including contingency. And are there any questions?
Questions of Aaron? I think we've been talking about this for a long time.
Yes.
Comments or questions?
So the total project budget, though, is $291,700, but this
Yeah.
is just for the $6,700 for the survey, including...
This is just for the $6,700, but that doesn't include the project budget, which moves all that money over into a separate account
Out of
for that
reserves.
project specifically.
That comes from street reserves, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So it funds it.
Okay.
Aaron,
Any other
is-
comments or questions?
Is that, you go back to the map, the red area that you got outlined, is that a separate drainage area from the BMP we have up there at the Arp Street?
That is a separate drainage area. I think the MIMS BMP, are you referring to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the limits of that were Ballantyne. Yeah,
Yes.
to the
Okay.
south, yes.
So this is separate, okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Pretty straightforward.
Seeing none.
Very much so.
Motion, please. There you go.
Motion to approve a project budget of $291,700 to be paid from street reserves and award contract in the amount of $6,100 to Bass, Nixon, and Kennedy for surveying and approve funding in the amount of $6,700, including contingency to be paid from the project budget.
Second.
Motion been made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Aaron.
Thanks, Aaron. Nice job.
Agenda item 7D, new business, Town of Holly Springs flags. Johnny Powell, go for it.
Give y'all something fun to do to wrap up tonight.
Wrap it up.
We have some possible designs for a town flag to replace the ones that we have with the old logo. And I sent this out to y'all in the agenda packets, and some of you responded by email with what your favorites were, so I went ahead and put stars by each star represents a mention, if you will. And,
A mention.
so we had 4 of you kind of like number 1. Thanks, Daniel. That helped. There was a couple for number 2, and that, got to admit, I think that was Chuck and me, actually. Chuck wasn't here, so he wanted me to. This little honorable mention will probably end up being a box of note cards or something, because it didn't get any. But number 4 was a standout favorite. It looks
Yay.
like 6 of, and well, your screens are probably not as
Our screen
distorted
shows
as
6.
this one, but this screen in front of me is a little stretched.
Yeah, it's
but
on
I
mine.
was a stretch.
I think there were 27 votes for that one.
27 votes. And then that's the same layout, different color scheme, same layout, different color scheme, and there as well. Everybody likes that Carolina blue.
Of course they do.
Let's go
And
back
then
to
we
the
have
Duke
just the plain white flag.
Yeah.
So what I would like from you guys, and I think I already have it because, you know, the tally that y'all gave me during the email, if you'd like to, you know, add, let's see, I think it was 1, 4, and 7. So that was 1,
Yep,
4,
yep.
and 7.
Mhm.
Okay, those were the 3 that got the most mention. And what we would like to do is involve the public and give them something fun to do by putting it out on social media and say, here's a survey, y'all pick one, and then whatever one ends up being sort of the highest vote getter. No runners up.
You're going to use 1, 4, and 7, is that?
Yeah, I
Sounds
thought
like
I
that's
would
the
take
consensus.
the 8, narrow it down, let
Yeah.
y'all narrow it down, and then put that out there for the public.
Is 3 too many for them? Is 3 too many to have for a choice?
I think that's good.
No.
I don't
Johnny,
think so.
one thing, when you do put it out there, can you, I think it was you who explained to us about what this symbol represents, as far as the dark green and the light
Yes.
green. If you could, when you put it out on social media, if you could just put a little description about that, that'd be awesome.
I will. I'll be glad to.
Yeah,
And
good idea.
in
Help.
suburban living, this issue, there's a description of all of that. There's the story of the logo in there, and I was really gratified today because a person who actually took the time to figure out how to contact us called and said, now when I see it, she was just so thankful for the story, and she says, I learned so much about Holly Springs, and she says, and now when I see the logo, it's going to mean something to me. And that just was so gratifying to hear. And I told her I really appreciated her
I think it's a beautiful
encouragement.
logo.
Huh?
It's a beautiful logo.
It is.
And she thought it was pretty too, but she was just really nice about learning about what it was about.
Why?
Right.
Yeah.
It help, and an explanation helps with the transition.
Sure.
Because people, they do love the holly, and so this will
Yeah.
help with the transition of,
Yeah.
of
Right.
why and how it still represents our town.
Sure. I'd be glad to do that.
Thank you.
Other comments?
Y'all good with 1, 4, and 7?
Yep.
It was
Yes,
good
ma'am.
that the article in the Suburban Living really gave the history of the whole process
does.
we went through and
Yeah,
the
and
branding.
and it explains why we're branding, and
Yeah.
I know there's quite a few towns that are rebranding right now.
Yep.
Quite a few.
For those who didn't, I think everybody here is getting this in the mail, but if you don't, I think there's a few copies left downstairs by the front door.
There are, yeah,
Yes, sir.
because I went and snagged my copy today.
I snagged mine today, too.
Just got mine
Just
in
came,
the mail today.
yeah.
Mine's right in the middle.
Okay. So you're good, Johnny?
Yes, sir.
I think we're
All right.
good.
Good enough.
Good.
Thank you.
All right, moving right along. Other business, I'll just again say, crosswalk safety is still on my mind. If you see a person standing by the road, that still means you should stop. Most of the people are, but not everybody. I saw a few people just keep going until nobody was there, and then she crossed the road right in front. Anti-bullying campaign still's hot and running, and we're making progress again. So that's my 2 cents. And who else?
Can I tag on to the crosswalk is, those of you who have children in Wake County Public Schools probably noticed that a lot of the bus routes have changed significantly. They've had to cut a few stops, trying to save some money. I know in our neighborhood, we now see that the children are having to cross some major roadways. And of course, the buses stopped, the arms out, but sadly, we've seen cars go right by those buses. So I just want to ask that people, please, please, please take extra special care in watching for those buses because it's just a little more dangerous right now.
Agree.
I'd like to also say, if you haven't gone to a Salamanders game, make sure you get some tickets and go. It's an exciting time. Fun stuff.
They're great kids, and
Oh, they really are.
and Linda is hosting. Well, one now. You had two.
Yeah, he had two. He lost. He got
One
injured.
got a bad shoulder or something like that. I met him today. He came into town hall and went around and met a few of the people. And of course, our ace pitcher is sitting in the front row. Thomas, Leonardo, and we thought he was a great kid. He's a great kid.
I think, the Suburban Living has also got a great article on the whole Salamanders and the team, and it's got all their pictures in there.
Yeah, I think that
So
You're
that's,
doing a good job.
they have a chance to go into the playoffs. They really do. I think they're in fourth place,
I think they are too.
and I think they have a chance. That would be awesome for the town if they went to the playoffs. It would just set this town afire.
They're playing tonight. They're playing on Friday and Saturday, I believe.
I'd have to look at the calendar.
It's Friday and Saturday.
I think, are we still leading the league in attendance?
No, I think we were third, maybe.
Oh, okay, because we were, until our
We were up
all our
there.
rainy days
Yeah,
we
we're up
had.
there, yeah.
We were leading,
I tell
leading.
you, but for first year, this team is really doing well.
Yeah, we're proud
Attendance
of
at
it.
all the Coastal Plains teams has gone up significantly. I was in Wilmington this weekend, and the Sharks had quite a few people there, too.
Yeah.
the hot temperature hasn't helped us
No.
much.
No.
But hopefully it'll get better as
Just-
the season goes on.
Just for the record, our Holly Springer, Joey Roach hit the first home run.
That was exciting.
That was very exciting. That was was that the first game? Second
Yeah,
game?
first
I think
game.
it was
First
I think it was first game. Yeah,
First
thank you.
game was awesome.
It was pretty cool.
I believe it was the first pitch he saw.
It could very well be.
He liked it.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Managers report.
Hey, thank you, Mayor. I guess as I go through this, we can think about Chuck on at Sunset Beach with his toes in the sand, watching the sun go
So he
down.
doesn't put him in the water.
Don't
Looking
don't
for the
worry,
sharks.
yeah, there's a lot of
Shark,
sharks out there.
We need him back.
That's right. Just a couple things. As you know, Sunday night, by all accounts, we had a very successful July 5th celebration. And despite the constant threat of rain and storm, that was a success. I think we had about 3,000 people at peak attendance, is what we estimated. And the majority of the credit for that event goes to the Director of Parks and Recreation, Lynn Bradley, and his dedicated staff members for the amount of time that they put in beforehand and then the day of is just tremendous out there. So the Parks and Rec staff and then police and fire also make sure we have a safe and a safe environment out there.
That's a lovely park.
It is. It is. Also, this weekend is the farmers market. And as I understand it, today was the first day of our new coordinator for the farmers market.
That's
Her
correct.
name is Siobhan. Okay, got that right. Siobhan. She's a Holly Springs resident. And she's
Met her today.
She will be there on Saturday, so get out and meet Siobhan.
Great.
And then finally, I believe at a previous council meeting, Councilman Sack had requested some enclosures be looked at for dumpsters at the Holly Springs Town Center. And again, going back to our planning department, they've talked to the developer of the town center, and by August 15th, those enclosures will be put in place on those dumpsters.
Great.
So that's been taken care of.
Just been a couple of years.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yep, that's all I've got.
Okay, thank you. Just to add something about the fireworks, there's been several people asking why we didn't do it earlier, and some other people have asked me why they couldn't hold it off till another date. Well, I wasn't sure, so I found out. Number one, they didn't want to do it earlier because they were all set up to go, and if there's static electricity in the area, it's a possibility of shooting them all at once. Probably not a good thing. So they waited until about 10 o'clock, Lynn, something like that? And shut them off then. The reason they couldn't postpone it was already set up. They're ready to go. You can't put them back in the truck that way. So I missed them, and a few other people missed them too. I was disappointed, but it was my fault because I left. I saw that black cloud, and it hit my car, and I said, I'm out of here. So anyway, you did a good job, Lynn. Thank you.
I took off.
Closed session, Counselor.
No, sir.
Uh-oh.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, y'all.
Thanks for coming.
23 minutes.
Amanda's gonna-